PNC Bank scouting report. Keys to Lannon's achieving success tonight: chop the wood. Less hits, less hittable pitches. Batting average against him so far this season, .314, 127 hits, 99 innings pitched. Stay aggressive. Get ahead in the count, put them away, minimize chances. Last 23 and a third innings, 5 walks equals 3 wins.
Crew chief, 25-year veteran Tim Cheetah has the plate. Bob Davidson, Alfonso Marquez, and Tim Timmons the bases. Blake DeWitt had a good game last night. He leads off lefty-lefty matchup, and we're underway with a fastball inside. Right at 7:06 Eastern. Cloudy skies, 72. Let me repeat that. 72.
It's beautiful.
John's been pounding the strike zone his last 3 times out. He goes 2-0. DeWitt, by the way, on a 5-game hitting streak, and he's hitting .338 in 22 games as a Cub. 25-year-old infielder, former Dodger. Originally signed by the Dodgers as a compensation pick from the Yankees for the loss of pitcher Paul Quantrill. That's a fastball that John zips right in there, and the count's 2-2. Cubs on the road, 24-36 on the year. They're not much better than that at home. They've won only 28 home games. Nats have won 31 in this ballpark. 2-2 pitch. Pretty good 2-2 pitch, and just off the plate. Tim Timmons says no swing.
He's got to throw that breaking ball right at DeWitt. Throw it right at his right shoulder, so it'll break down over the plate, but it'll still go away far enough he won't be able to make contact.
Had him pulling the ball. Had him done waiting for the slow roller. To Lannon. They had a bunch of pitchers fielding practice out there today. And the very first play of this game is exactly what they were practicing this afternoon. Nationals defensively. Bernardina, incomparable lately with the glove out there with Morgan and Morris. Ian Desmond has a sore right thumb, so he's out for the second day in a row. Should be back in tomorrow. Up the middle with Kennedy, Zimmerman, Dunn, and Rodriguez. What does Roger Bernardina have in store for us tonight? Seems like almost every evening he does something very interesting, if not spectacular. That's on the inside half to Starlin Castro, the shortstop. And this kid's 5 out of his last 8. 20-year-old shortstop batting .316. Well, here's another one. Morris is going to have to hurry. This kid has speed. Michael plays it well, but it's a 1-out double for Starlin Castro. And he now has, over his last 3 games, 6 hits and 9 at-bats.
Well, Bob, he's so young, he doesn't realize he's not supposed to be this good so quick. He just takes a nice, easy swing, inside out, makes contact. It rolls off the top of the bat down the right field line. Michael Morse comes up firing to second base. Nice backup by Ryan Zimmerman.
That'll bring up the red-hot Xavier Nady. Cubs seem to be producing fairly well without Derek Lee. Lee and his sore back traded to Atlanta last week. And John Lannon's ahead of Nady, who's hitting .244. But he had a big night here last evening in the number 5 spot. So he's 3rd tonight.
It's like the Houston Astros last night. They scored enough runs to beat the Phillies. Hunter Pence has been on fire. And when I interviewed him a couple weeks ago, he said, listen, this is what we have left. This is what we're going to play with right now. Oswalt wanted to leave. We traded Miguel Tejada, and this is what we have left. Berkman's gone.
It's a good 0-1 pitch right where Pudge was set up, under the hitter's hands.
Look at some of the guys on this Cubs team. I mean, Marlon Byrd's been around for a long time. He was back here in Washington. DeWitt wasn't getting a chance to play in Los Angeles with the Dodgers. Nady giving up after he got hurt last year with the Yankees. So all these guys are getting a chance to play every day. They're excited.
That ball drilled to center, but right there is Nyjer Morgan. And a ball tailing toward the gap. 2 outs. Aramis Ramirez coming in. John Lannon, since his recall, well, 3 seems to be the magic number with a 3 ERA and the 3 wins. Cubs are pounding the ball now the last 4 ball games without Derek Lee. And Michael Morse, look out when he bats for the first time tonight. He's in the number 7 hole. Michael, though, in a bit of a slump. Only 9 for his last 62. So he needs to pretend like every at-bat is his first at-bat. Here's Ramirez hitting .245. But now Aramis is warming it up. He's on a 5-game hitting streak. It'll be interesting to watch him. He's always been a really good complementary player, but he's never really been a guy that a ball club revolves around.
The leader. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see how he fares without Derek Lee. He's always hit well against the Nationals. Ramirez, though, against John Lannon, 1 for 11 career. The most hits by anybody in the Cub lineup tonight against the Nationals left-hander, of all people, is right fielder Jeff Baker with 3.
And only having a couple lefties in the lineup favors Lannon. Lefties hitting him .336, righties .305.
Breaking ball, that is a foul tip. As signaled 3 different times by Tim Cheetah.
Do you think he tipped that? I thought this was like on the ground. Great breaking ball right here.
He missed that ball.
If he hit that, there's no way the Exmo will show that he did not hit that. It hit off Pudge's glove.
Well, sometimes I think the umpires hear the tick of the ball hitting the ground, and it sounds like a foul tip. No balls, 2 strikes.
Do it again.
And well foul. And I think the reason Tim Cheetah was so adamant with his call was because Pudge Rodriguez was pouncing and ready to run over toward the on-deck circle to pick up that ball. So umpires help out the catchers in that respect. But Lannon did have the side down on that strikeout. Phillies and the Astros just underway. And this one turning into a pretty good battle. There's Jeff Baker in right field, batting 5th tonight. Matt Holliday has just hit a homer for St. Louis at Pittsburgh to get them off to a good start, his 22nd. Cincinnati lost last night. St. Louis won their 3rd straight, so it's a 2.5 game spread in the Central, as well as here in the East between the Braves and the Phillies.
Well, Edinson Volquez looked just as bad against the Dodgers last night as he did against us in Cincinnati. I don't know if he's 100%. Those are not nice numbers right there. 636 the last few games.
0-2. Cole Hamels pitching for the Phillies in that game against the Astros. Josh Johnson, R.A. Dickey for the Mets hosting the Marlins just underway. Derek Lowe later for the Braves at Colorado. And Lannon misses, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It was the first ball that John has thrown in the last 7 pitches. Nice ratio. 13 strikes in the first 18 pitches, but now 5 extra pitches since he struck Ramirez out.
Boy, and nothing good ever happens after the umpire misses a call with 2 outs. Except a changeup away that Ramirez cannot reach. So Lannon strands Castro after the double. The Nats against Zambrano coming up. Nationals 11th in the league in hitting, 14th in runs, 10th in homers, and looking for offense. Roger Bernardina in the 5-hole tonight. He's on a 6-game hitting streak, 7 hits, 22 at-bats, but he's getting on base, scoring runs, and he's also driven in 5 of his 36 on the year during that time. Roger has a possibility of a 50 RBI season. Ian Desmond is already there, even though not in the lineup tonight. Here's Nyjer Morgan, 6 for 22 in his last 5 games since coming off the DL. Carlos Zambrano working quickly. We'll get Rob's scouting report on the Big Z here in a moment. He's 7-3, by the way, career against the Nats. And the 2-0 pitch in there. He's making his 12th start, 15th appearance against the Montreal-Washington franchise. Nyjer slaps one left side, but it'll go tailing foul, 2-2.
Nyjer choked up on the bat. I like it. Nice little quick down on the ball, trying to hit it to the left side. Soriano playing in and by the line.
Target away. Looked like a backdoor breaking ball. Zambrano attempted. Control numbers not that good. 44 walks, 64 strikeouts in 76 innings. So he's walking 2 guys for every 3 he strikes out. Morgan slaps another one foul.
Saw that graphic there. 6 walks in 6 innings against the Padres in his last outing.
He's only gone 7 innings twice this year. Once at Cincinnati, April 10th. He only lasted an inning and 2/3 against the Nationals on April 26th. And that was the night that Brian Bruni walked in the losing run for the Nats in the bottom of the 9th to give the Cubs a 4-3 win. That was bottom of the 10th, actually. That was the Cubs' only win in that series. Nats took 2 out of 3. This one handled by Blake DeWitt for the first out.
PNC Bank scouting report for the achiever in us all. This is what we're going to have to do to get to Zambrano tonight. He did have no-hit stuff a few years ago, September 14, 2008, against the Astros at Miller Park, by the way. He's got a lot of passion. He'll even fight his teammates. He's gone after Michael Barrett and Derek Lee, and they love it when Z-Man takes the mound. 18 wins last year in 28 starts, and in 28 games this year, the Cubs have won 12 of them.
Rob will have an additional scouting report on Zambrano when he comes up to bat. The guy is nasty with the wood. And Kennedy will foul off another. No chance for Alfonso Soriano.
It's 28 games, 12 starts. Pretty much thrown out into the bullpen. One of the highest paid relievers in the major leagues while he was out in the Cubs pen.
Quickly 0-2. And Kennedy reaches out, stroking one to center. A chance to drop, and it does. Right in front of Tyler Colvin, and the Nationals have their first base hit. Makeshift Cubs defense, because Marlon Byrd hit on the hand by a pitch last night, isn't in there. So Colvin's in center, flanked by Soriano and Jeff Baker. Castro, DeWitt, the young infielders, Ramirez and Nady, the veteran cornermen, and Giovanni Soto, second day off the disabled list behind the plate.
There's Tyler in center field.
He's a good-looking young player. He's hit 18 homers. They have him batting 8th tonight. And here's Zimmerman, 7th in the league, batting .301. Ryan is 8th in on-base percentage, 9th in homers, and 5th in slugging. Power matchup here. This is interesting in the early going, Rob. Zambrano's fastball, the 2 hardest ones he's thrown, 91 and 90. That's at least 5 miles an hour off of what he has been most of his career. Maybe he's not loose yet. We'll see. This is not your typical August evening when it takes about 30 seconds to get loose in the bullpen. Things a little cooler tonight.
Well, and I asked Bob Brenly, who does the color for the Cubs on their television broadcast. He managed, obviously, on the World Championship Diamondbacks. We talked about the arm angles of Carlos Zambrano. When he's throwing right, his arm angle is way up high, and he's throwing over the top just a little bit above 3/4. When he's not throwing that well, he drops way down, almost sidearm.
Zimmerman at chopper. He'll have to hurry to beat the relay, which goes into right field. And the Nats will have runners at first and third with one out. Kennedy went into second base. And the throw-off line of the Cubs, who have the most errors in the league, make their 103rd.
Well, Kennedy's going to be coming in here hard. This should have been a routine 6-4-3. A little bit of a rust from the young Castro. Watch this. He kind of floats it over there, sidearm. It's way too far away from DeWitt. There's the Exmo. Not a real good flip. You either want to go straight overhand or hard underhand. Did neither. Kennedy alertly got right back up and ran to third.
Had him done, and they will get a double play on him. That'll keep the Nats from scoring. So Dunn, a fly ball hitter, hits it on the ground, and the Nats are gone in the first. Not the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, Rob, that got him last night.
Looked like a little bit of a 75-mile-an-hour breaking ball, just kind of flipped up there, backed up right into the right hand of Marlon Byrd. Here on the Exmo, you will see it. Looked like right on the top, and ouch. So Marlon Byrd out of the lineup today. He's day-to-day with the Cubs.
And the way he was hopping around, we thought he had hurt his toe, worse than his hand. Then he left the ball game shortly thereafter. Good, hard-working guy. One of the Cubs' free agent signings this year to a 3-year deal. Here's Jeff Baker hitting .230.
Well, you remember my former teammate, pinch hitting extraordinaire also, and also the hitting coach here, Lenny Harris. We were in Double-A. He got hit in the funny bone and started limping. So Joe Oliver said, Lenny, what's the matter? Why are you limping around? You got hit in the elbow. He goes, I got a shock. So when he got hit in the funny bone, he got the shock that you get when you hit the ulnar nerve, and so he started hopping around. But Marlon did get hit in the foot.
2-0 pitch in there.
But I think maybe his hand hurt worse than his foot last night.
Jeff Baker, by the way, is a Virginia boy. Lives out in Dumfries, Virginia. He was born in West Germany, military family. His dad was in the Army for 22 years. There's a fastball up and in the Air Defense Division Army, Dad Larry. And they lived in 9 cities around the world. He was originally with the Rockies, claimed in the 4th round in 02 out of Clemson. 3-1 pitch. Solid base hit in right field. They were playing him up the middle. Lannon had to throw a strike, and Baker now has 4 career hits against John Lennon in 10 ABs.
I find that interesting. His dad was in air defense, and now he runs down things that fly through the air in the outfield. So,
well, that's air defense.
That is air defense out there.
But he lived in Germany, the United Arab Emirates, and of course, of all places in between, Key West. So here's Giovanni Soto, the catcher. Hard breaking ball, maybe a cutter. That's 89 or 90, so that's got to be John's cut fastball. Even Strasburg doesn't throw a breaking ball that hard. Soto at 286. This will be an interesting player to keep an eye on for the Cubs. He's one of their young guys, 27 years of age. Started the All-Star game 2 years ago. Alfonso Soriano on deck. And then Soto started the 08 All-Star game. He was the first ever rookie catcher to be a starter, and the first Cub All-Star catcher since Gabby Hartnett way back in 37. And Gabby, of course, one of the all-time greats for the Cubs. Soto from San Juan, 11th round pick 9 years ago. It's taken him a while to get to where he is. Lannon with a perfect pitch right down the middle. Took a little bit off. About 85 or so on that changeup.
Kinetic right here on the circle changeup. Perfectly placed. Bottom of the zone, right down the middle.
So John's 85 or 86 changeup. Just a little bit off the fastball, not much.
Well, possibly overthrowing it a little bit. You want that to be a differential of about at least 10 to 12 miles an hour. Makes the fastball look about 92 to 94.
(3-2). Will they move the runner here with nobody out? A lot of new managers like to be aggressive, but not so from Mike Quaddy. Runner holding, and then a base hit up the middle, and 2 aboard for Alfonso Soriano. Call for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. 40 twice the home runs and the stolen bases as the Nats in 06 won 71 games, and Alfonso Soriano hit 46 homers, drove in 95 runs, and stole 41 bases. At that time, he went to his 5th straight All-Star game, and he joined Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, and Alex Rodriguez as the only 40-40 guys ever. At this stage of his career, Alfonso's pretty much shut down his running game. Soriano has a grand total of 5 steals this year in 6 attempts.
He's had nothing but hamstring and calf problems the last few years.
Let's see, 07, 8, 9, 10. So the Cubs only have 4 years left on this mega deal, and about $70 million still out there to be paid. Rob and I were talking with Bob Brenly and Len Casper, their broadcasters, before the game, and we were doing a little calculating. The Cubs have 5 or 6 players signed for next year, and Soriano will leave the yard and make it 3-0. He's one of those high-priced players that they have over $100 million committed to next year. And he puts the Cubs on top by 3 with his 20th of the year.
Well, watch the pitch sequences. Now the last 2 hitters, 2 hittable, the pitches, and that one he just misses straight back. That one, a big hanging breaking ball. We talked about before the game, got to stop throwing so many hittable pitches. Look at the bat head, how far out in front. He swings one of the heaviest bats in the major leagues, and when he does hit it, it will go.
He now has a triple, double, and homer in this series and has driven in 5 runs. Soriano's RBI total jumps up to 65.
The 9th straight year Soriano has hit 20 or more home runs.
Tyler Colden fouls one off. He hit exactly 20 last year, 29 the year before that, and 33 his first year as a Cub.
All right, shut them down from this point on. Got to tell yourself 3 is all they're going to get.
2-1. Well, last night at this time, Jim Riggleman's club still scoreless. But the Cubs dropped a 5 spot in the 3rd on the Nats. Tonight, the 3 spot in the 2nd. I don't know what it's been about this ballpark with the last 2 homestands, first against Florida and now against the Cubs, getting underway with huge early deficits. That was Soriano's 310th home run, by the way. Started the season right at 290. And suddenly, John Lannon struggling with command.
Well, he's got to try to get his composure back, shake it off, try to put it behind you. That's what the kind of guy that you give the ball 2 years in a row opening day can do. And he had been doing that. Everybody's going to give up some runs. Levan Hernandez gave up a lot of runs. It's going to happen to you. John Lester just gave up 9 runs in his last start. But you got to try to put it right behind you and continue on.
Another hard hit ball. 4 in a row by the Cubs. And that'll bring up a guy who is anything but an automatic out, pitcher Carlos Zambrano.
Well, it's almost like he's not finishing off his pitches, and he's standing straight up, and the ball is staying straight in the middle of the hitting zone. And Steve McCaddy's going to go have a little chat.
Nationals start tonight with the league's 6th worst overall ERA at 4.16. The Cubs are actually worse, 13th in the league at 4.40. And Colin Ballister just called up today to take the roster spot of Steven Strasburg after Steven was put on the DL, starts warming up. The Nats aren't officially saying who is starting on Thursday. At least not yet, but it will require a roster move, as we were told today. So it appears to not be anybody in the bullpen. And that would point toward Jordan Zimmermann. We will see. Debbie Taylor, what's going on with Jordan Zimmermann, by the way?
Well, Bob, it is accurate to say that he is the probable pitcher for Thursday. So I think we can pretty much expect him to come up and join the Nationals and make his first start here of 2010, Bob.
Well, and you said 6th worst. They've been top 5 last year in ERA if they had the 4.1 ERA last year. Last year, the Nationals' worst ERA in the major, or actually in the National League, at 5.00. That's what they finished the year. So they've done a lot of improving this year in that category.
1-1 to Zambrano, who is a switch-hitting pitcher, by the way. From the right side of the plate this year, he's 3 for 14. From the left side, 4 for 18. Look at that, 20 career home runs, 61 RBIs. The guy can hack.
That's a good pitch.
The last switch-hitting pitcher I can remember was back in the 80s, who pitched for Houston and St. Louis, Joaquin Andujar. A pitcher who switch hits at the major league level. 2-2. He went, and home plate umpire Tim Cheetah will punch him out. Lannon's second strikeout and the very first out of this long second inning.
Well, Drew Storen's a switch-hitting pitcher. plays for the Nationals.
Yeah, I guess we just haven't seen him from that side of the plate. He has not had a right-handed at bat, but he is a .500 hitter. Top of the order, Blake DeWitt. Hanging breaking ball, line drive, and the runner stays home. 2 outs. That ball was scorched.
John Lannan has had trouble with left-handed hitters this year. They're hitting .336 coming into today, and this ball is hit on a line. A great play. The Exmo shows it. A little bit of a snow cone there for Adam Kennedy.
Starlin Castro breaks his bat, and Lannan will get out of the inning quickly after those early problems. Soriano goes deep, and the Cubs lead by 3. Bernardina just seems to be getting better, Rob, every day at almost everything he does.
Well, and it takes a very versatile guy. The ball's going to come off the bat differently than you see it in center or right. He makes a beeline, gains on the ball, full extension, makes a great catch. Then he gets up to the plate right after that and laces a double. Your only RBI of the ball game.
Bernardina 1 for 3 with a walk last night. And here he is hitting .271. 6-game hitting streak.
Well, and I wanted people to know what Jordan Zimmerman's doing down in Syracuse. 17 innings pitched, 8 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts. So he's made 4 starts down there. He's earned the call-up.
And that's under a .5 ERA. Roger tried to go upstairs with Zambrano, and Carlos has his first strikeout.
Well, even at 88 miles an hour, he was throwing some nice off-speed stuff. He throws 88 up top, good location. Bernardina gone. But it's all about the location above his hands. He's not able to catch up to it.
Here's Pudge batting .318 over his last 12 games. And no chance at all for Nady to threaten that ball. Pudge had the only RBI last night, 0 for 3 with a ground ball. The Nats were out hit 15-3 last night and decisively beaten by the Cubs 9-1. So in this series, Chicago 12 runs, the Nats 1. And that's 20 hits to 4.
Nats in just a little bit of a rut right now. They work their way out.
Breaking ball, and Pudge with a half swing fouls it. 2-2. All right, it's Michael Morse's first at bat of the game coming up, so be ready. Hitting .390, and that includes his pinch hitting appearances earlier. Big curveball way outside, and Pudge no way to reach it. Tomorrow night, Ryan Dempster for the Cubs and Jason Marquis for the Nats. St. Louis coming in for 4 starting on Thursday. The Nats will name someone to pitch against Chris Carpenter Thursday night. Scott Olson, Jaime Garcia Friday. Lee Vaughn against Kyle Loesch, who's just back off the DL, on Saturday. And then John Lannon, Adam Wainwright on Sunday. So the Nationals will see Carpenter and Wainwright in that series. Here's Michael Morse. Remember our note earlier. 270 overall, 390 though, his first at bat of a ball game. He was stroking line drive after line drive to right field during batting practice yesterday. And as Rob and I watched at the cage, he said, if only I could quit swinging at those inside pitches, because he's strong enough to drive it anywhere in the ballpark. But it's 0-2 now. He has to swing at just about anything if it's close. And Zambrano takes him upstairs to overmatch him, striking out the side and pitching like a veteran with a 3-run lead. Sunday, it's time for the Sunday Family Fun Pack. For $14, a seat, hot dog, chips, and soda. Nationals.com, purchase your Family Fun Pack tickets. Have a hot dog just like he is, and he loves it. Off speed, inside to Xavier Nady, top of the third underway. I'll say one thing. With Carpenter and Wainwright bookending that series for St. Louis, the Nats better find their offense here today or tomorrow. That's a pitching staff that most of the season has had the best ERA in the league, and they are in shutdown mode right now. That's a busted bat. Lannon stabs it.
That away, Johnny.
That's how the third inning gets underway, with Ramirez and Baker to follow.
Well, this is just hopping and popping right here. Johnny falling towards third base, gets up, grabs it with his glove, step and throw. like a giant cat from New York.
A Long Island cat. Here's Ramirez.
Wearing Johnny Franco's old number.
Well, any left-hander who likes New York has to know John Franco.
From Brooklyn.
Pretty good breeze blowing in from right field right now. So the wind is coming in from the northwest, which is odd. Don't see that much here. Gonna pop up into the breeze. It'll hold it up for Adam Kennedy. Michael Morse had no idea where that ball was.
Very tough sky right now.
Fortunately, it was so shallow, Kennedy was under it. Michael is talking to Nigel Morgan right now. All right, here we go, folks. We're going to give you a preliminary time on live Mass and HD coverage of the press conference with Bryce Harper on Thursday. We are expecting it to be right around 5:45 Eastern time on Thursday. Rob, Debbie, and I will all be on host downstairs with Mike Rizzo, Bryce Harper, Scott Boras expected to be there. And we'll bring it to you live on Mass and HD. When something happens live at the ballpark, we will be there for you. Reminiscent of Zimmerman's signing last year, Strasburg's contract signing, and the promotion of Mike Rizzo. We all covered those live last year. We'll do it again Thursday with the 17-year-old from Nevada. Inside 2-1. Foul tip 2-2. Baker got the 3-run rally started last inning with a bouncing ball through the right side. Soto followed with a blast up the middle for a hit, and then Soriano really blasted one left field seats. And the Cubs lead 3-0.
Change up.
Mets have a run, bottom of the second against the Marlins. No score. Houston at Philadelphia. Astros batting top of the third against Cole Hamels. And as mentioned earlier, the Braves later at Colorado with Derek Lowe. Tim Hudson and the Braves beaten last night.
Ooh, nice spot. Up underneath the hands of Baker. Do it again. It's a nice cut fastball right here up underneath the hands. Nice job.
3-2 with the bases empty, 2 outs. Zimmerman to his left. Couple of crow hops and on to Dunn. And for the first time, John Lannon gets a 1-2-3 inning. He'll bat after Gonzalez and before Nigel Morgan. Coming up, and every Thursday, Friday, Saturday here is Miller Lite Party Night. Get a Scoreboard Pavilion seat and a drink voucher for $20. It's $2 more for premium games. Come early, pregame happy hour at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk Bar featuring $5 beers. Here's Alberto Gonzalez, who's hitting .269. Third baseman Ramirez even with the bag. Outside corner, Zambrano's retired. 4 straight, covering 5 hitters. I think that double play ball really energized him. He's been known to stomp around the mound after an error is made behind him, which was in the first inning by the shortstop. And now Alberto Gonzalez, the Nats shortstop, gets Washington's second base hit, giving John Lannon a chance to bunt. Well, John does not have a sacrifice this year.
Zambrano definitely knows how to win. 109.74 for his career right there. You see a low ball. Alberto goes down and gets it. Head down over it. Right back up the middle. Nice leadoff single with a fill-in shortstop where Jim Riggleman had kind of a premonition that Alberto might have a good night tonight. Just had a feeling.
He said that Desmond was ready to play tonight and came to him and said, I'm good to go. He said, let's give it another day with that thumb. Lannon with a good bunt. Zambrano, what a bad decision. What is he thinking with a 3-run lead trying to make a play like that? Everybody is safe, and the top of the order coming up. They'll give Lannon a sacrifice.
Well, he got greedy right here, Bob. That's what this is. This is just greed. He doesn't have the arm he once did. He's throwing off balance. The ball's up and off to the left for Castro right here. Great bump by John Lannon. Make the pitcher field it. He's coming by first base. And like you said, awful decision with a 3-run lead. Now you're in trouble because of yourself.
Here's Morgan, and he could be bunting, trying to move 2 guys up. And if they make a mistake, he'll bunt for a hit. And that's a fastball low. But you always, Rob, you always watch Zambrano in situations like this because he's a ticking time bomb on the field at times.
Oh, he can beat himself better than anybody in the major leagues.
Morgan taking 2-0.
The emotions that make him so good at times make him terrible at other times. Like you said, his blow-up with Derek Lee was out of frustration at himself. His blow-up with Michael Barrett was, again, he was frustrated with himself and not getting the most out of his potential, and he blew up at a teammate.
Morgan hits it left field. Soriano's playing that way. He's back to cover it, and the runners will have to return.
Well hit by Niger, but well played by Soriano.
And I'm a little perplexed at Niger swinging 2-0 in a situation like that, when he had 2 runners aboard and the pitcher suddenly struggling. But it's a first out, and here's Kennedy.
Well, but you still want to have a productive at-bat, Bob. And even though the ball was well struck, you want to be able to move these runners up a base and put them in scoring position with 1 out, Kennedy up at the plate. Forty has a single tonight.
Inside.
But Niger's been making much better contact, hitting the ball a lot deeper with authority. Almost hit a home run the other night.
He has stopped really trying to pull the ball, which is good. That's inside, and Zambrano goes 2-0 again.
It's okay, Niger. Keep swinging it, buddy.
Kennedy might be taking 2 pitches, considering who's on deck. You would be stunned if he would swing 3-0 here. 2 on, 1 out. Nats down by 3. Big guns on deck and in the hole.
Yeah, there's just no life on that Zambrano fastball. He used to throw mid-90s. Ball would have all kinds of movement on it.
Well, he's pitched 200 innings 5 times in his career. That's a high strike call that he gets. And I guess you have to wonder, is Carlos Zambrano starting to flame out at the age of 29?
No, hopefully not. Not with what's left on his contract. And that's a high strike. Almost undercut that sidearm.
3-2 pitch. Runners are going. And Kennedy flies one to center. Gonzalez has to hurry back. And he is safe. He just got back. If Alberto doesn't pick up that ball in a hurry and get lots of help from Pat Listash, he is doubled off second base. That's a really good piece of base running there.
Yes, it is. Now you'll watch Adam Kennedy stroke that into center field. Alberto Gonzalez is going to slide, turn around, and go back to second base. The quickest way to stop. Slide. He does. He gets back to second base just in time.
Good call by Alfonso Marquez. He was back in. So the inning is still alive, and here's Zimmerman. Fastball in her half.
This is a very close play. Yes, he's in there. Okay.
I don't think so.
Exmo says no, but we say yes.
From the other angle, looked like he was safe, but he wasn't.
Okay,
Let's get a big break.
Not going to tell anybody.
That's a good take. That's the ball that struck out Pudge.
Yeah, Zim cannot try to pull that pitch. That's exactly what he wants to do, wants him to do, and he'll hit it right on the ground, probably to shortstop. Let him float one on the inner half here and jack one out of here. Tie this thing up.
Oh, Zimmerman base hit.
Come on.
That will score Gonzalez, and the Nats are on the board.
Nice.
So the good base running, at least that coupled with a call from the umpire, kept the inning alive, and Ryan Zimmerman drives in his 71st run. But Zambrano can only blame himself. The out he did not get at first base on the bunt, costing him this run.
Our Z-Man beats their Z-Man on this at bat. Big hole up the middle. He slices it off to the right of the pitcher's mound, and Berto running with 2 outs. Get there. Gets the run.
Here's Dunn. Adam swung at the first pitch, first time up.
Come on, Adam. Break out right here.
With runners at first and third and 1 out first inning, and hit into a 4-6-3. Adam Dunn is 7 for his last 53.
It's better than 0 for your last 53.
He had that 2 home run, 6 RBI explosion at Dodger Stadium. And very little since. Ball 3. Looks like he gets off to rough starts, settles in, and then runs out of gas.
Roller coaster.
Looked like a cutter. 3-1 to Adam.
Throw that one again.
He's been sitting on 31 home runs for a while. Albert Pujols has passed him up. And Adam now barely in the top 10 in RBIs with 78. That's a walk. Bases loaded for Roger Bernardino. So here in Natstown, we arrive at the top of the hour here, 8 p.m. straight up. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a run home. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor, Masson HD. Second game of the series after the Cubs blew out the Nats 9-1 last night. Bernardina has the tying run at second base. He goes up, first pitch swinging and flies to left. Soriano is under it. And the Nats will strand 3. They've left 4. On to the middle innings. 3-1 Chicago. the Cubs had some RBI opportunities there. Ryan Zimmerman comes through. So what's going on with John Lannon maybe that we haven't seen in his last 3 starts as opposed to tonight?
Well, if anybody saw John Lackey start, he was throwing everything at the knees. Now, John Lannon was up just a little bit about thigh high, and they're really hitting him hard. He's brought it back down to about knee level, and they're not getting as many good quality swings against him. So if you could just stay down there, right at the knees, keep that changeup where it's at, right below the knees, put the curveball down on the ground in front of the right-handers and away from the lefties, and he'll do fine. Just keep us right there at 3 runs for the Cubs. I think we can come back and get Zambrano.
Carlos Zambrano, bit of a mixed bag in his start so far. John Lannon, not a whole lot of ground ball outs, and that's always an early key that we look for when he pitches.
He is a ground ball guy, so when he starts getting the ball up in the zone, that's not good for John Lannon. Had only given up 8 home runs on the season. That's number 9 with Soriano, but I think John has turned the corner, and now he's starting to settle down a little bit and got the Cubs right where he wants them.
4 ground ball outs for Lannon, including 2 in the 3rd inning, but he's thrown 58 pitches to get 9 outs. Breaking ball for a strike to Giovanni Soto. Of course, Zambrano's thrown 57 pitches in his 3 innings. It's not looking like either bullpen will have the night off. That's a great fastball right on the hands of the right-hander. And the count's 1-2. Got it. Keeping that ball down. John Lannon, 3rd strikeout. He'll face tonight's nemesis, Alfonso Soriano.
Well, and this is just what we were talking about. The foul tip is going to be about thigh high. Watch the foul back right there. He just misses it, and the bat's back a little bit. The bat gets out in front on the home run, gets the hip turned a little bit more, head down, and he just drives through the ball. There you see the foul tip on the left, the home run on the right. It's just a fraction of a second. And that's all that Soriano needed.
Deep short Gonzalez. Look at that arm, but it's too high. He pulls Adam Dunn off the bag straight up, and Soriano's aboard. Gonzalez has made 3 errors on the year. We'll see how they score it.
Yeah, I think this is an error. I think if he throws this down, it's an out. He takes a little bit of time. He lets it fly, and Soriano comes through underneath Dunn.
Yeah, you would think it has to be an error after watching that replay.
Soriano still has good speed. You can't fall asleep on Soriano.
Gonzalez, 4th error of the year. The Nationals' 98th. The hitter, Tyler Colvin, the center fielder. Base hit up the middle first time. He gets a good piece of this one. Is it coming back? No. 5-1 Cubs. Colvin's 19th of the year. Left-handers continue to brutalize certain left-handers on the Nats staff, and John Lannon one of those.
I think you'll see that this pitch is up. Kinetic on the pitch track, right in the heart of the plate. Colvin, we said only 2 lefties in the lineup. The switch hitting Zambrano, now standing up there.
Here's the pitcher. Kinetic North America, providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers, bringing you the pitch track. Zambrano struck out swinging on a check swing first time. This time to Adam Dunn, who should be able to do it himself. 2 outs. Cubs have out-homered the Nationals 3-0 in this series, and have now outscored Washington 14-2. Top of the order, Blake DeWitt 0 for 2. I'll tell you what comparison I'd hate to see is what other teams are hitting against Nationals left-handers and what the Nationals are hitting off other teams' left-handers. It seems like rarely does one of our lefties get a hit against an opposing southpaw. That's in there, 3-1. And a chopper. Dunn had to back up a little bit. Adam takes care of that. And the fourth inning is over. The Cubs get an unearned run because of the error. Colvin's homer, and it's 5-1. Story. And Teddy nowhere to be found toward the end. When, I ask you, when? Rodriguez, Morrison, Gonzalez for the Nats, bottom of the fourth. Offense shut down twice over the weekend by the Phillies. Again last night by the Cubs. And can the Nationals get something going here? They don't get some runs against the 13th rated pitching staff in the league in this 3-game series. The weekend could really be a drought against the best staff in the league. St. Louis and San Diego neck and neck for the league ERA lead. And as mentioned, the Nationals will see Chris Carpenter Thursday, Adam Wainwright Sunday. 1-2 to Pudge. Same breaking ball that got him both times. Zambrano strikeout number 4.
Well, you see him drop down, get a little extra spin on this breaking ball.
A lot of guys, Rob, when they drop down, their breaking ball gets flat, but not Zambrano.
Well, because he's been flattening out his arm for the last couple of years. Whenever he's not right, whenever his arm's a little bit below the weather as far as strength-wise, not throwing with great velocity, but pretty good movement on the break and stuff.
Michael Morse will pop it up on the first pitch. That's interesting. The rookie shortstop came all the way across the diamond to cut in front of Blake DeWitt to make that catch. 2 outs, bases empty. Gonzalez coming up. AT&T trivia. Who hit the last grand slam in Cubs history? The pitcher hit the last grand slam. That almost seems too obvious, doesn't it?
I think it was Ryan Dempster.
I think you're right.
I think it's a trick question.
He's a good hitting pitcher. Oh, wait a minute. Dempster's never had a career home run, Rob.
Shucks. What about Ted Lilly?
Dempster is a good hitter. He's just never gone yard. Neither have the Nats in this series. 1, 2, 3 in the fourth. It's all Cubs again. 5-1 Zambrano and Chicago. Game summary. Ryan Zimmerman, the only Nats RBI, third inning hit, his 71st. Alfonso Soriano hit his 20th for 3 runs in the second. And then Tyler Colvin, who hits behind him in the lineup, a 2-run shot in the fourth.
Well, as we showed you before, he just missed the first one, and the breaking ball is right on his sweet spot. He hits it a ton. And then Tyler Colvin, too much of the plate. Both breaking balls, same result.
Cubs using the long ball in this series to dominate. Here's Starlin Castro, the shortstop. Thinking about that trivia question now. Zambrano is the all-time leader for Cubs pitchers' home runs. Ferguson Jenkins is second. I'm going to guess Jenkins on the Grand Slam. That would be going quite a ways back. Two balls and a strike to the young shortstop Castro. Astros just scored 2 in the fourth. That Philly on a Carlos Lee home run, his 17th. No swing, says Bob Davidson. 3-1. Well hit right at Ryan Zimmerman for the first out.
There you see how Zim has to look at the hitter. You don't have time to watch the pitcher go through his mechanics and still make that shot off the bat catch.
The Cubs have 6 hits tonight, 2 of them home runs, 2 others screaming liners. Make that 3 actually, 2 caught by infielders and 1 in the outfield. Nady hit one of those out to Morgan in the first inning. Off speed by John on a straight change. 2-0. Marlins at the Mets. Florida got 2 in the third. The Mets single runs in the second and third. 2-2 tied there. Base hit up the middle. And Xavier Nady has a 5-game hitting streak. All right. Well, you would think Carlos Zambrano with 20 career home runs.
I'm going to say Kerry Wood
would be the last pitcher to hit a grand slam in Cubs history.
Jason Marquis.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Put a fork in us. We're done.
I'm looking all through the Cubs media, guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm going back to the 70s and the guy sitting in our dugout. Come on. By the way, Zambrano's most recent home run, August of 09 against Garrett Monk. And a pitch diving down and away. Aramis Ramirez certainly out of his swing zone. John Lannon due to lead off the bottom of the 5th, and I think that tells you he will not be hitting. Miguel Batista, the Nats' long man, who's had way too much work in that role this year. And Ramirez hits one to short. Looks like 2. Turned well by Kennedy. And the Nats get the 6-4-3. Beautiful evening in our nation's capital. Right now, it's the Cubs by 4. Sideline report. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Here's Debbie.
Well, Cubs interim manager Mike Quade spent from 1987 to 1993 either coaching or managing in the Expos farm system, and he told me today it was a valuable experience.
Probably as a younger manager, learned more in that brief time of the 7 years than the 20 or 15 that followed. So, it was great. And we especially had a group of unbelievable pitching coaches. And anybody that wants to do this job needs to understand pitching and understand it well. And I learned a great deal from a bunch of those guys that handled the pitching in that era.
And Mike did a great job, too. Twice he won Manager of the Year honors, once with AA Harrisburg in 1991 and once with AAA Ottawa back in 1993. Bob?
Yeah, that 91 ball club won 87 games. He won 1,213 minor league games as a manager. Winning percentage of .510. He's also worked for the A's and the Cubs at the major league level. So here's Justin Maxwell hitting for John Lannon, whose night is over. Justin Maxwell not making much contact lately at all. 24 strikeouts and 58 at-bats. He's batting .103. 6 hits, 58 ABs.
Going to cover the bases with Justin on Thursday.
That sounded like a broken bat on that foul ball that jammed him. John Lannon, 83 pitches, 51 strikes in 5 innings.
Local kid, went to University of Maryland. comes from a wonderful family. I got to meet his father in Philadelphia.
He's going. Fastball outer half.
Subway pitch track. Subway where winners eat. And that pitch, a two-seam fastball that sneaks back like a foot-long grinder.
Wow. So if I go get a foot long, I'm a winner? I like that.
Yes, you are.
It seems too easy.
And I apologize, grinder. You might call it hero or sandwich.
Elijah Morgan, one hopper, back to Zambrano, 2 outs.
I don't know why. New England, we always call them meatball grinders.
Where I come from, we call them poor boy sandwiches. Very apropos for our neighbor. Base is empty, 2 outs, and here's Adam Kennedy, 1 for 2. Adam with a bloop hit to center in the first, a fly ball to center in the third. The Nationals are 6 wins away from last year's total. 37 games, including tonight. And a chance to far surpass that. But not a whole lot going on with this ball club right now. They've won 4 of their last 15 games. Hard to beat at home until the last 2 homestands. And not exactly championship clubs have come in here and given the Nats problems, like the Marlins and now the Cubs. Washington did take 2 out of 3 from the Diamondbacks on the last homestand. Season series with Chicago, 2-2. Nationals lost a 1-run game in 10 at Wrigley, and then won a 2-run game and a 1-run game. That was a really well-played series back in late April when the winds were howling and it was quite cold. Kennedy hooks one, foul.
Really got the bat out in front of that one. Another off-speed pitch by Zambrano.
Game time temperature, Rob, for those 3 games. Monday night, 52 degrees. Tuesday night, 47. Wednesday afternoon, 59. I wrote wind next to all 3 of those.
Just a bit nippy.
Whew.
Had to buy a new coat.
Well, at least we had a nice big booth with lots of room. Nats go 1-2-3 in the 5th inning. Nothing happening offensively, save for a Zimmerman single. Masson, brought to you by Hager. Established 1926. Your own great moment starts at Hager.com. Team store, a lot of great stuff in there. T-shirt Tuesday, by the way. A lot of folks taking home their Steven Strasburg T-shirts tonight. Cubs box score. 2 big swings from the 7 and 8 spots. So from 7 on down, they've driven in all 5 of their runs. Miguel Batista making his 47th appearance. This will take him over 67 innings, maybe 68 or 69. The most unsung role on the pitching staff. Hardly ever pitches when the Nats are ahead. Talked about the Cubs last night in their 1908 since winning the World Series. Graphic that sticks in the craw of every Cubs fan. They're not alone when it comes to droughts. The Chicago Cardinals, who went to St. Louis and are now in Phoenix. How about the Kings? They were the Rochester Royals, then the Cincinnati Royals, then the Kansas City Kings, then the Kansas City Omaha Kings, splitting their schedule, and now they're the Sacramento Kings. There are some droughts out there. But who could understand the Toronto Maple Leafs having a long drought? I mean, that's one of the hotbeds of hockey. How can that happen? I mean, somebody should at least, win the Lady Byng Trophy for being a great sportsman. Not getting penalty minutes.
Wow. That's a drought. At least the Cubs' Andre Dawson won the MVP.
Yeah, Ernie Banks was an MVP, 500 home run guy. Hall of Famer.
Mark Grace, most hits and doubles in the 90s with the Cubs.
Lee Elia, greatest home manager rant in baseball history. Right side, Kennedy to his left. From a knee. Throws out Jeff Baker. Well done. Adams played very good defense lately at second base. I think Adams is a great example, Rob, of what we speculated about 2-3 months ago. It's a whole lot tougher to play defense when you're out there 3 days a week than it is 6 or 7. I guess those defensive chances are a lot like at-bats. The more you see the ball flying around, the better off you'll be. Off the bat of Soto, out of play. Were you surprised when you heard that the Cincinnati Reds offered Dusty Baker a whopping 1-year extension on his contract?
Absolutely.
What's up with that?
He has done a magnificent job there, and it's very surprising.
I mean, are they trying to get him to get mad and leave so they can hire somebody else? It sounds that way.
There's got to be a reason for that.
Not exactly a great message to send to a ball club 2.5 games ahead with 5 weeks to go. Danger lurking. That ball hits the limestone and ricochets back to the pitcher. I'm pretty sure they're going to want to look at that ball or toss it out.
Wow.
I think that was so far away, Pudge thought it was going to hit the batter. And unfortunately, Soto out of the way. That was a fastball running in toward him. Pretty good pitch, and he doesn't get the call. I don't think you get a borderline call after your previous pitch hits the limestone. 3-2 with one out. He's going to get that call. And Batista has retired the first two Cubs he faces.
Great pitch right there. He backs Soto off the plate. Then you see the grip on the two-seamer. He backdoors him. Little swing back action. Very nice.
Here's Soriano, 1 for 2 with a 3-run homer. He has scored 2 runs. He reached on the Alberto Gonzalez throwing error prior to the Colvin home run. Breaking ball had him reaching. Zimmerman on the charge. Nobody does it like he does. 1-2-3 for Batista. Zimmerman done. Bernardino 3-4-5. Time for the bats to make some noise. Zimmerman, Dunn, and Bernardino. League leaders your way from Hollywood Casino Charlestown races. Highest on base percentages by hitters against pitchers from the NL Central, including several guys in the division. And Ryan Zimmerman outdoing them all. Didn't hurt himself tonight. 1 out of 2 with an RBI base hit. Get ready for a blockbuster hit, one after another, at Hollywood Casino Charlestown races, West Virginia. Zimmerman reaching on an error in the first and the RBI in the third. But it took him 3 more innings to get back up there. Zambrano has shut down the Nats, giving up only 1 walk, and that was to Dunn since Zimmerman's base hit. Reaches out, hits the ball well to right field. Underneath it, Baker.
Well, the Nats are getting some good swings on Zambrano, just hitting them right at people. There you see the box score of the Nationals so far tonight. Kennedy, Zimmerman, and then Berto at the bottom of the order.
Here's Adam Dunn, who has hit 7 career home runs against Carlos Zambrano, and has always hit extremely well at Wrigley Field as a visiting player. When you wonder, with Derek Lee gone, would the Cubs be interested in Adam Dunn as a free agent signing? I just wonder how much money they have left, if any, to make such deals, Rob, because they've spent so much money on free agents. And against an opponent, Adam Dunn
loves Zambrano.
Wow. And Glendon Rush is a left-hander.
Yep, and the surprising one on that list is future Hall of Famer Greg Maddux. Lefty Mark Mulder, Woody Williams, Kerry Wood, power pitcher. You can see that, power on power.
Roger Bernardino is 0 for 2. And Dunn takes a fastball right down the middle. Adam Dunn is now 7 for his last 54. 2 outs, bases empty. Bernardino coming.
Kinetic right here on the pitch track. Looks like that two-seam swing-back fastball that Levon Hernandez has had so much success in his career. And I think now with Zambrano, knowing that he may no longer be a power pitcher, he's out there pitching. And he looks like he's having fun. Getting right back up on the mound. As a hitter, you got to step out and make him stop. He's in a groove right now. He is just rapid fire, keeps your defense on their toes.
Struck out Bernardino with that pitch back in the second. And with Roger laying off, the count's 1-2. Does Pudge bat this inning? No. 8 strikeouts for Zambrano. He has retired. 10 straight. 7th inning. It's all Cubs again tonight. Giving it up. 9 outs to work with. Top of the 7th coming up. Pudge and the bobblehead and the Cardinals. And it's a Saturday night coming up. First 15,000 fans this weekend. On Saturday night, receive the Fans' Choice Pudge bobblehead presented by PNC Bank. Visit nationals.com/tickets or call 888-632-NATS and purchase your tickets today. We're looking at the Pudge bobblehead that we have here in the booth. He's got The helmet on backwards, the number 7 showing prominently. The chest protector is red and black and has Pudge on it. And by the way, the mask is already on the ground. Did you notice that? He jettisoned the mask, getting ready to throw out another fool trying to steal second base.
It's a perfect likeness of Pudge.
You know what? It is one of the better bobbleheads.
It is.
Sometimes they don't look exactly like their guy, but this one does. That's not a happy catcher right now. He's not real pleased with the way these ball games are going. Tyler Colvin is the hitter. And Batista misses away. He has singled up the middle, homered to right. I think a guy with 19 homers and 48 RBIs and hitting the ball well would at least be in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
I would think so.
He's hitting around 255. Guys have won Rookie of the Year with batting averages like that. Here's Zambrano coming in, and now we'll see him bat left-handed. Zambrano evidently has 2 batting helmets because he doesn't wear the double flap. So he's got one right, one left. 0 for 2 tonight. 7 for 33 on the year. He does not get cheated at the plate.
I just think it's amazing, 20 home runs.
Yeah, he's homered. I got him at least twice against Kyle, 3 times against Kyle Loesch. He's homered against Mark Burley, Woody Williams.
Well, I mean, he's a switch hitting
Tom
pitcher,
Glavine.
so you know he's a natural right-hander. And I always thought he was just a left-handed pitcher because he looks so natural up there left-handed.
Out to second base where Kennedy kneels and makes the play. 2 outs.
Well, Zambrano doesn't have an awful lot tonight, but he is pitching.
Yeah.
And he's putting on a clinic that, hey, I may have an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. That's my top end. I can mix in a changeup and a curveball and throw a little two-seam swing back. And, 29 years old, but that's what happens some days. Just don't have your best stuff, but you can still pitch.
Base is empty, 2 outs. The hitter, Blake DeWitt, 0 for 3. Right in there. Pitcher due to bat 4th for the Nats in the 7th. Mets have scored in the 5th, leading the Marlins 3-2. Braves and the Rockies just underway out in Colorado. Derek Lowe, Jorge De La Rosa.
Well, Chip Winfield, our wonderful producer, informed me that Ralph Houck and Gene Mauch are the only 2 managers in front of Lou Piniella that are not in the Hall of Fame.
And a lot of people think both of those should definitely be in.
Neither one has won a world championship, and that might be the clincher to put Lou Piniella in there.
Over to third base, Zimmerman to his left. He'll square up for the throw. He'll sail it, but the 6'6" first baseman saves him a throwing error. 7th inning stretch time for 18,250. One of them unearned on 7 hits. Alfonso Soriano, his 20th homer of the year, the big blow of the game. Carlos Zambrano now the story of the ball game, 88 pitches through 6. And Rob, he was at 51 pitches in his first 3 innings.
Well, he just has this sense about him tonight that he can overmatch you with 88, a breaking ball, and a sinking fastball, and he's done a wonderful job of working our guys, getting ahead, and when he gets behind, he's able to come back and make that fastball look 95 with his changeup. And it's only about 88.
Cubs will shore up the defense here in the late innings with Kosuke Fukudome, who takes over in right. Looks like a straight-up change. Colin Ballister, if the Nats send 4 hitters up to the plate this inning, requiring a pinch hitter for Batista. Well, the way Zambrano's going, don't count on it. He's been working Pudge over with those breaking balls tonight, and the count's 1-1.
And I apologize. Ralph Houck managed the Yankees to 2 World Championships in 61 and 62.
Yeah, that's right. Over the Reds and the Giants. I think those were his first 2 years with the Yankees, and that's why a lot of people are confused as to why Ralph Houck, who recently passed away, is not a Hall of Famer. 3
pennants and 2 World Championships was 1,619 up and 1,531 down for a .514 winning percentage over 20 years.
And of course, the thing that always haunted Gene Mauch the last 2 weeks of the 1964 season, when his Phillies had the pennant all but wrapped up and gave it away to St. Louis down the stretch. Rodriguez is out, and that's 11 straight for Zambrano. Phillies had, I think it was a 6.5 game lead with 13 to play. And on the last day of the season, St. Louis beat the Mets. The Phillies continued to lose and lost the pennant by 1 game. Cincinnati also had a chance to win it. It came down to the final day of the season with 3 teams tied. 2 of them lost the last day of the year. And just 2 years prior to that, the Dodgers and the Giants had finished tied and had to play a 3-game playoff to determine who would go and get beaten by Ralph Houck's Yankees. So there were some playoff scenarios back then, but nothing like we have now. And then Gene Mauch was also the manager of the '82 Angels when Donnie Moore gave up the devastating home runs to Dave Henderson of the Red Sox. They were 1 out away from the World Series and couldn't get it done. Up the middle, Morse, and Michael has a base hit. Donnie Moore obviously never got over that. He took his own life years later.
Yes, he did. Well, he has to battle for this hit right there. It's a good pitch by Zambrano. He battles, fights it off, and fights it up the middle over the second base bag, and no one can get to it. Castro and DeWitt, a nice effort.
And only big, strong guys get that one to go through the infield. Here's Alberto Gonzalez, who's 1 for 2. There is no activity in the Cubs bullpen. Willie Harris to hit for Batista if the inning continues.
I've talked to Doug DeCinces and Bobby Grich on many occasions, and they're still haunted by that loss.
Oh, in their own ballpark.
Yep.
Then they had to go back to Boston.
Wasn't it Mike Witt was on the mound, and there was 2 outs in the 9th inning. correct me if I'm wrong, and then Gene Mott took him out.
I don't remember that part of it, but that makes it even worse if that was the case. Because Mike Witt, at that time, was one of the dominant right-handed pitchers in the American League. Now the Cubs have some throwing in their bullpen. They called up a left-handed reliever today, Scott Main, and sent Justin Berg back to the minor league. So they have 4 righties and 3 lefties out there. Alberto hits a double play ball right at DeWitt. Castro turns it 4-6-3. The Nats have hit into 2 double plays tonight, and they're done in the 7th. It's still 5-1. Is the lack of offense here, and the Cubs might be in a position with Ryan Dempster to sweep tomorrow night. He's 11-8, 7-1 in his career against the Nationals with a very good 3.18 ERA as he cocks that glove. Jason Marquis will go for the Nats. He's 0-6. He did make his longest outing at Philadelphia Friday night. Gave up just 1 earned run in 5 innings. Johnny and Ray here at the ballpark. 6:30 Nats Extra. Game 3 of the homestand and the series. Nationals getting their, almost their last taste of the NL Central. There's a trip to Pittsburgh coming up next week after Florida. Here's Colin Ballister, who returned to the big leagues today when Steven Strasburg was placed on the DL. Five relief appearances with the Nats this year. The 24-year-old 0-1 with a 5.40 ERA. He started the season in the rotation at Syracuse, and then in 25 relief outings went 1-0 with a 3.92 earned run average. Facing Starlin Castro. Castro, Nady, Ramirez, top 8 for the Cubs. They've out-hit the Nationals 7-4. And a chopper to short. On the run, Gonzalez. Well played. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Xavier Nady 1 for 3 with a base hit up the middle last time.
Collins got a great live arm if he can just command that fastball. He's got an excellent breaking ball. Definitely could see him being a solid setup guy for this franchise.
I think he's picked up some velocity from when we first saw him in 08, making those 15 starts, going 3-7. Had a big curveball then.
Well, maybe he was pacing himself. I mean, I watched Jabba Chamberlain do it last year with the Yankees. Throw slower, try to conserve energy, and that's not always the best way to go out there and try to get major league hitters out.
Right in on his hands, Zimmerman and Pudge over by the dugout, and no chance. 9 o'clock hour here at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. It's all Cubs again. 9-1 last night, 5-1 tonight. Bob, Rob, Debbie with you on Massett HD. Dempster and Marquis, same time, right here tomorrow night. And we have confirmed, by the way, our 5:45 Masson live presentation Thursday for the Bryce Harper press conference here at the ballpark. And Ballister throws it by him for the second out. Pretty good job by the relief corps so far. Batista retired 6 straight. Now Ballister his first 2.
They have done a wonderful job all year long. They come ready. They don't complain. Most innings pitched by a bullpen in the National League.
Front door breaking ball, a beauty. Rockies on a Carlos Gonzalez homer, his 26th. 2 in the first against the Braves.
Trade your all-star closer, and they never missed a beat. In fact, Sean Burnett stepped up his game, and you could say that you have a lefty-righty closer combination between Storn and Burnett.
Had a good young catcher on the way because of that deal. Phillies have picked up a run, bottom of the 6th. Astros now batting, top 7 at Philadelphia, leading 2-1 after beating the Phils last night. Great breaking ball by Ballister, and a 1-2-3 for Colin in the top of the 8th inning. A pinch hitter coming for Ballister, top of the order. The Nats need some crooked numbers. Friday night, Nats Cardinals, 7:05, but the $5 beers and live music begin once gates open here at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk Bar until first pitch. After the game, the Friday night fireworks. Get your tickets by visiting nationals.com/tickets or call 888-632-NATS. Willie Harris is a pinch hitter, 7 for 34, 5 RBIs. Good showing by Colin Ballister. Looks like Craig Stammen will get the ninth. And it'll be 4 more innings for the bullpen tonight. As Rob and I talked about last evening, the Nationals bullpen this year averaging 4 1/3 innings per game. Here you look up, and Carlos Zambrano is still around in the 8th inning. 106 pitches coming in. In his heyday, 120, 130 pitches, nothing for him. Here are his inning totals from 03 to 07. 214, 210, 223, 214, 216. A lot of pitches, a lot of innings. Struck out 200 batters or more 2 of those years. And as Rob mentioned earlier, a lifetime record of 109 and 74 coming in. Willie Harris hits it high in the air right center. That's Tyler Colvin, the center fielder, for the first out. Ask about the Nats at MASNsports.com. Hey, by the way, I made a little boo-boo as 1986 on the Angels Donnie Moore story we were talking about, not 82. Best hitting pitcher when you played, Rob, from Kevin in Annandale.
I think you would agree with this. Dwight Gooden.
Yeah.
Doc Gooden was a heck of a player. Could have been an everyday player.
Guiding the ball into left field, Niger Morgan. That was almost like a slug bunt. Remember that little Butcher Boy hit he had in Houston when he popped the ball down the right field line? We really haven't seen him do anything of that sort since then until right now. Mike Quade is applauding Carlos Zambrano as he comes to the mound. I'd say that's a pretty good sign he's going to take the ball from him. We'll see. Is he saying, be honest with me? How do you feel?
No, I think he had his mind made up, but I think he's just thanking him for a job well done. Nice effort.
Sure was. 7 1/3 for Zambrano. He gives up only 5 hits. He's in line for his 5th win of the year and the 110th of his career. Finally, into the Cubs bullpen. Carlos Zambrano, 108 pitches tonight, and Rob, a very effective 7 1/3.
Well, he was hitting his spots and hitting his marks all night. Wasn't the greatest fastball we've seen him with, so he went out there and he basically muscled through our lineup 3 times, tried to go through it 4 times before he was taken out, but 88-mile-an-hour fastballs, 85-mile-an-hour curveballs, 80-mile-an-hour changeups, and hitting your spots is pitching at the major league level. So 5 hits, 1 run, 7 1/3 innings. He's thanking someone upstairs.
Here's Kennedy. Lefty-lefty matchup with Sean Marshall, who looked like 3-4 years ago was well on his way to establishing himself as a good starter for the Cubs. 19-29 career record into this season. And a lefty out of the bullpen now. 66th appearance, by far most on the Cubs staff. Carlos Marmol, 57, and he's their closer. Still have a light mist falling here. Sure looked like rain all day. I checked the radar at about 6:15. There was nothing out from here to Stanton, Virginia, which is way out there west of Charlottesville. So some of that weather arriving here, but nothing of consequence. Stanton, Virginia, the hometown of the Virginia Cavaliers basketball player Dan Bonner, one of the best. Two balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, and Kennedy fouls it right over to the Cub dugout. Braves have picked up a run at Colorado. 2-1 Rockies early. Alex Gonzalez, a home run for Atlanta. Solid play over third base way, and Ramirez from his knees throws out Kennedy. That's not supposed to happen with a left-handed batter getting out of the box.
Well, Kennedy hits it pretty hard. Great play by Ramirez from his knees. He knows if I get rid of it quickly, I got a shot. One hops it over to Nady. That's just a guy that's played a lot of third base in his day, making a great play.
And Adam Kennedy did everything right. He hit the front of the bag with his foot and still out. Bang, bang.
Oh, that's just everybody doing everything right, and it was a nice baseball play.
Here's Zimmerman now with 2 outs and a runner at second. If he pops up and throws, he doesn't get Kennedy. Quick release from the knees. That was outstanding. Two-0 to Zimmerman, who has the Nats' only RBI of the game. Third inning base hit up the middle. Tailing fastball, a beauty. Nationals need runners. Down by 4. Adam Dunn waiting. Ryan takes the walk. You can go online, Nationals.com, and find the Nats.com shop. The official online shop of the Nationals, largest selection of official gear, latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, authentic classics for the whole family. Tying run is in the on-deck circle. Adam Dunn tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk. And a breaking ball blocked by Soto. Pitcher looked down to check where his landing area was as he let go of that pitch. Now he paws away at the dirt and gets a visit from his catcher. Their closer is Carlos Marmol. He of the devastating slider. Adam Dunn hooks one foul. (5-1) Cubs, bottom 8. And a 2-1 to Adam Dunn, who bats with 2 men aboard. That's a backup breaking ball that stays inside. 3-1. One on the inside corner. Soto reminding his fielders the runners will be on the move here. And running over to third base before the pitch is Nyjer Morgan. I would call that a stolen base. Not his fault the shift is on. And then Marshall just stepped off and watched him go. That might be the slowest stolen base I've ever seen. That's ball 4 to Dunn, bases loaded. And Bernardina will represent the tying run.
Or Ian Desmond.
Aha! That'll probably prompt a move to Marmol, you would think. Although some managers don't like to use their closer in the 8th inning. I told you Ian Desmond went to Jim Riggleman this afternoon and said, I'm ready to go. And Jim decided to give him one more day off because of a sore right thumb. Swinging the bat extremely well is Desmond. He's hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games. Had the hitting streak stopped by Oswald and company on Sunday. But he's hitting .379 since July 27th. And Mike Quade waits forever and now makes his appearance. So Marshall will retire 1 batter, give up 2 walks. And the Cubs in the middle of a double switch. The Nats have the tying run coming into the batter's box. your local Ford dealers. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. Mr. Lincoln presiding over his memorial on this beautiful August evening. Cubs on a double switch. Michael Hoffpower will take over and play first base. He'll bat ninth on the double switch. And the new pitcher batting third will be their closer, Carlos Marmol. 22 saves on the year, 15 a year ago. You do see on that graphic 5 blown saves. And Rob, he'll throw slider after slider until he gets you out.
Well, and you saw the high walk total, but you saw the even higher strikeout total. It is one of the most devastating sliders in the big leagues. Like Francisco Rodriguez in New York can get himself in trouble by trying to throw it too many times in a row.
There it is. That thing was over the outside corner eventually, and it had Desmond leading back.
Well, he's long and lean. A lot of arms and legs coming at you.
Desmond committed strike 2. Ian, 2 RBIs, 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter.
There's a side view. Very tough. He's very deceptive.
And for a hitter like Desmond, who stands way off the plate, tough matchup. He's gone on 3 pitches. Punched out by Bob Davidson, the first base umpire. Inning over, and it's 5-1 Cubs into the ninth. Twice tonight now. And Rob, let's go back to that pitch sequence, or should I say that slider sequence.
Well, you know that I'm sure someone told him what to look for right here if you didn't already know. Nothing but fantastic slider. He kept working him way towards the first base dugout, and just very difficult to pick up that deceptive 3/4 sidearm kind of delivery where the ball just shoots out the back. And all of a sudden, it's by you and going the other way.
Here's Craig Stammen, 26th appearance. He made 19 starts. 4-4 with a 5.23 ERA. Here's Kosuke Fukudome, who came into the ballgame in right field in the 7th. Soto and Soriano to follow in a 5-1 game. First pitch, hello. Fukudome came into the game last night and had 2 hits, 1 an RBI, after Marlon Byrd was hit by that pitch. A reminder, the Bryce Harper press conference live on MASN HD, 5:45 Thursday afternoon from the ballpark. We shall be downstairs with all the principals in the official first appearance of Bryce Harper as a member of the Nationals organization. You might remember Ryan Zimmerman put a jersey on Steven Strasburg last year. Could that happen again? Mike Rizzo will be there. We will visit with him live. And here's Soto. Good breaking ball by Stammen. Another good hook by Stammen.
That's a couple of at-bats, some strikeouts by Soto. You have a great rookie campaign and your rookie of the year. They're not going to throw you a lot of fastballs after that.
And sometimes you ought to swing at him to avoid that. Alfonso Soriano, Robin, I think we know what our Ford, or should I say their Ford drive of the game is.
Well, he hit a lot of these in a Nationals uniform. He's hit a lot in the Cubs uniform. Just missed the pitch before that. And then that one dropped on the top, head down, drove through it for the Ford drive of the game, Alfonso Soriano.
Soriano now 34 years of age. And I know at the time when he signed the contract with the Cubs, that was one of the things people were talking about. He will be 38 the year that contract ends. He's had a big series. 3 extra base hits. Triple, double last night. Homer tonight. 5 RBIs. Good breaking ball by Craig Stammen, who's had a good one so far. Tyler Colvin, the center fielder next. By the way, the Nats in the 9th. Rodriguez, Morse, Gonzalez, the scheduled hitters. They only have one position player left on the bench, and that's Kevin Mensch, other than Wilnie Avis. Marlins just got a homer from Gabby Sanchez, his 15th. A 3 spot in the 7th. They lead at New York 5-4. It's getting late in Philadelphia, and the Astros still lead the Phils 2-1. 8th inning. Soriano with a double play ball to Gonzalez. Kennedy turns it. Each team with a couple of double plays tonight. The Nats need a huge bottom of the ninth, down by 4. The bullpen, very good tonight.
Park. 3 hits in last night's ball game, Ray. 5 hits tonight. Ray and I'll be along with Nats extra post game in a couple of minutes. And hitting shoes still need a little shine on them, huh?
Yeah, boy, we're making everybody look good. Zambrano has been a great pitcher. He hasn't had hardly any strikeouts. Struck out 8 tonight. Our offense just is not there. Just a couple opportunities. It's not like we're putting people out there either. 1 walk until the 8th inning, 2 in that inning, 5 hits total. I don't know what
and the Cubs with the 2 long balls tonight. Let's go back upstairs to Bob and Rob and see if the Nats can do some damage here in the bottom of the ninth. Guys?
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Ray. And the Nats will have to figure out a way to do it against a right-handed pitcher who can be unhittable at times. Ian Desmond found that out. 3 right-handed batters, the do-ups. Pudge, Morris, and Gonzalez.
They have to be patient, Bob. They have to make this guy throw a strike with that slider.
Yeah, he hasn't really thrown one over the plate yet, has he?
He throws a lot of pitches off the plate, down low. Kind of like a knuckleballer. If it's low, let it go. Make him bring that slider up.
So he goes first pitch fastball to Pudge. And it looked like Rodriguez was sitting dead red. He was pumping.
He's got a 4-run lead. One reason why now with the bases not loaded, he shouldn't try to work ahead.
Nats have been out hit 8-5. Cubs 3 in the second, 2 in the fourth. All those coming in on the home run ball. And Pudge in the hole now, 0-2. Nationals in danger now, falling to within just 2 games over 500 at home. And the 0-2, see ya. Front door breaking ball. That is devastating.
Well, it's as much his release point as it is the grip on this pitch. You see him falling way off towards first base, but he's pulling down as hard as he can. Fastball, 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 slider at the end. And even Pudge, future Hall of Famer, is just locked up.
In the famous words of Yogi Berra, what are you going to do? Man, that's some stuff. He goes 1-0 on Michael Morse. Mike with a base hit last time. 1 for 3. Series finale here tomorrow night. Marquis, Dempster, and then St. Louis comes in with Albert Pujols, Matt Holliday, Chris Carpenter to go on Thursday, Wainwright Sunday. Come on out to the ballpark and join us. It'll be the last homestand in August. And a 2-2 way outside. A little bit low. Michael Morse aboard with 1 out in the ninth.
Nice patience by Michael Morse right there. That's 41 walks now in less than 60 innings pitched for Marmol. Drops down. One problem with that delivery, you see him fall towards first base before he actually throws it towards the catcher.
He was right over the plate with that pitch, and now
balked.
we've had a balk.
Yep.
Called by the home plate umpire, Tim Cheetah. Bob Davidson missed it at first base. The home plate umpire called it. And a balk.
Which is funny because Bob Davidson's nickname is Balkin' Bob Davidson.
Balkin' Bob.
Likes to call a lot of balks. Not saying that he's wrong. He just looks for that No stopping, stepping into the rubber, and that's what Marmol did. He stepped into the rubber. He looked like he was going to start, and he stopped.
Saying to Micah Hoffpower, I've never had a home plate umpire show me up like that before.
On my own crew. There you see it. He flicked that shoulder right there, and then he steps off. Well, you can't do that. You can't start your delivery, stop, and then step off.
A bouncer, and it's 1-2.
Well, and back in yesteryear, about 20 years ago, maybe about 18 years ago, when they were really cracking down on the guys that didn't stop in the stretch. And if you didn't come to a complete stop, they would ring you up left and right on the balk.
And a base hit to left by Alberto Gonzalez. Pat Listash holding Michael Morris. That year that Soriano was with the Nationals, he had double-figure assists from the outfield. And down by 4, you're not going to send a runner there. The Nats need 2 more base runners here. So here's Willie Harris, followed by Nyjer Morgan. Pretty straight fastball.
Well, he tries to get ahead with a 95-mile-an-hour heater. Can't just lay it in there.
And Alberto Gonzalez is 2 for 4 tonight.
This is just the kind of guy, though, that Willie Harris can take out of the yard. Tries to get that little 95 sidearm action in there.
And he's not getting a borderline call there.
Tim Sheeta is going to make him throw those sliders over the plate for a strike, bring them up. And now Soto's going to go out and say, come on, man, you got a 4-run lead to start this inning. Let's start messing around, trying to throw it over the plate here.
Not many hitters can claim they're .500 against Marmol, but Willie Harris can. That's ball 3.
I mean, he left your picture right there. He was running to first base so hard.
When you leave a picture in HD, you've gone a ways.
Yes, you have.
3-0 pitch, Willie will be taking. That's a borderline strike.
Well, he had to let up to get it over there in the low 90s. And here he is. Watch this. You got to be in the straight line. Falls nicely, but oh, he's going way over to first base.
And he throws it in there as Harris takes it to a full count.
He's a little bit slower, a little bit more deliberate.
Does he have the wherewithal to throw the slider on 3-2?
I think he thinks that's his best pitch. He'll probably go with it.
And he does, and he misses with it.
Badly.
That thing backed up outside. Wasn't that close to begin with. And the Nationals now have 2 shots with the tying run in the batter's box. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, had a good one.
Larry made many a trip to the mound when I was out there, Bob. And the one thing he's going to say is, listen, keep the front shoulder locked in. Try and finish towards home plate first. Not going to tell him a lot of technical things. He's just going to say, listen, you know what you're doing. Just finish it, follow through, then fall to first base. And hopefully he makes a mistake and Nyjer Morgan can slap a double or get at least a single and keep this going. And you have said on many occasions after the pitching coach goes out there, you usually see it backed up with a fastball next pitch.
May or may not apply to this pitcher. We'll see. He does go heater.
And he went heater, and that was the best one he threw all night. 97.
Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. And suddenly it's 0-2. Well, his pitching coach gave him the right advice, and he took it to heart. Got ahead with the hard stuff, and then the devastating slider down and into the left-hander.
Well, you want to work ahead, even though you've got that slider, and then get the 0-2. Just drop that right in front of Niger's feet. That same release point as the fastball, very hard to pick up if he's anywhere close to the plate.
Adam Kennedy has hit a homer against the Cubs this year. It was at Wrigley Field. Nats battling down to the final out here with a tying run in the batter's box. And Kennedy will hook one into the right field corner. This might clear the bases. Morse, Gonzalez, Harris, all scoring. It's a 5-4 game. And Ryan Zimmerman will be the hitter.
Well, you called it, Bob. Bases loaded, 2 shots to get something done. Adam Kennedy has been terrific. Hot hitter lately. Gets a pitch, just puts some wood on it, pulls it down, hooks it down into the right field corner, and everybody is going to come in to score. There you see the speedy Willie Harris, and now it's Marmolin Zimmerman.
5-4 now. Zimmerman 1 for 3 with an RBI single and a walk. And Marmol's ahead, getting it in through the front door.
And remember, all this is made possible by the terrific job the bullpen did. I thought the very first sign that we had a shot was the nice Morse walk with 1 out.
There's another walk, a balk, 2 hits. Ooh, that ball ended up maybe 2 feet outside. And Ryan and the Nats are down to their final strike. We saw the same pitch and wasn't biting that time. Emergency hack on a front door breaking ball.
Has done it twice this year.
San Diego and Philadelphia. And he doesn't have to pull it to do it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Zimmerman, that ball's well hit. Right field, and it is caught by Fukudome on the run, and the game is over. The Nats put a big-time scare into the Cubs with 3 in the 9th, but come up short and lose at 5-4.
Wow, wonderful job by the Nationals here, giving the Cubs a finish. Ryan Zimmerman gets everybody so excited they're thinking, and at the last second, Kosuke Fukudome comes into your pitcher and robs the Zimmerman of a huge hit again.
Nationals drop it 5-4. Cubs in a position for the sweep. What a 9th inning that was.